What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the ever-charming Dr. Disaster. And, as always, it sure is amusing to watch people backtrack on things once they realize how unpopular their opinion is, especially when in the past they try to make it seem like they're so independent. But some people just can't handle the idea of not being a part of the majority.
Does it depress you to know just how alone you really are?
That is what we have going on here with Naughty Dog and the god-awful art of Eve from Stellar Blade that their principal character concept designer created. The other day, the official Stellar Blade account posted this image, inexplicably calling it an amazing illustration, and it was absolutely lambasted by gamers because, I mean, come on, they took Eve, objectively one of the most beautiful female characters to have come out in a while, and they made her look like this.
Doomsday and Armageddon just had a baby and it is ugly.
The thing is, if this had just been fan art or something like that, nobody would have cared. But this came from the principal character concept designer at Naughty Dog. And of course, everyone pointed out that this perfectly explained how they took an actress who looks like this, a pretty normal looking woman, and they made her look like this in their upcoming game, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet.
Honey, you got real ugly.
Well, apparently Naughty Dog and their artist were so ashamed of the job that he did that he actually apologized for it and put out a new, much improved version of his original Eve art where he didn't make her look like a blocky, clunky dude with an angry face. This is the new art, which is basically an apology letter from the artist. This is why it is so crucial that when they put out obvious crap like this, that we keep up the pressure and voice our displeasure. This got fixed because apparently Naughty Dog, or at least their artist, couldn't stand people making fun of the terrible looking work that he did.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter or X, or whatever you want to refer to it as these days. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. My handle over there is Dr. Disaster 1. But alright folks, let's talk about this art and how it was changed and how we as gamers are actually having an effect on these people even if they don't want to admit it, even if it is a very gradual thing. Because this was a major humiliation for Naughty Dog. If they were so confident in their position, I struggle to imagine them swooping in and putting out this apology art. But that is exactly what this artist did. He knew that he screwed up big time. This was the artist himself posting on X in response to the original post that the official Stellar Blade account put up of his art. He wrote, "Yeah, I get it. I noticed it too. I should have refined her face more while I was deep in the background creatures. This image was my personal contribution to the game and the studio because I truly enjoyed the game. Hope this Eve image soothes your heart." And to me, one of the most hilarious parts of this apology are all of the Naughty Dog defenders out there who were whining and moaning about gamers noticing that the original art was ugly as hell. They tried to claim that the original art was just fine the way it was. Well, what now, guys? The artist himself acknowledged that it was shit. So, are you ready to finally admit that all you do is blindly defend your corporate masters? Or nah? But yeah, I guess these people at Naughty Dog were tired of being made fun of like this, The official Stellar Blade account actually reposted the new art as well, and they had a message to everyone to go along with it. They wrote that the Naughty Dog principal character concept designer has once again drawn Eve for us. We're very grateful for this, but we always welcome fan art in the style of the previous one. It's not uncommon for fan art to have more of the artist's style than the original, and we think that's a very important and enjoyable point. It's been a rough year in 2024, not just in Korea, but around the world. We hope everyone is living in love. Aw, isn't that sweet? But no, my dude, we aren't living in love. I'm not sure who is running the Stellar Blade account, but I have to say that I'm not a big fan. You see, this is representative of the crux of the conflict between gamers and the members of the gaming industry. Too many of these people in the industry put out dog shit, like the art that we saw this weekend, and they are allowed to because the culture in this industry has transformed into a place where merit is no longer what they seek. Everybody just wants to be nice to everybody else in the industry, and they stick their fingers in their ears and cover their eyes and pretend that everything that everybody does in all of these major studios is just wonderful. This is the basis for the culture of toxic positivity that has polluted these studios like a rampant disease. Here's the deal. No, gamers are not living in love, because out here in the real world, we live real lives, where our bosses hold our feet to the fire and expect productivity. Out here in the real world, we aren't protected by this strange-ass corporate culture. We have to get by on merit, and life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. And I think one of the primary gulfs between gamers and the people making modern video games that has to be acknowledged is the fact that gamers are overwhelmingly male, and the people making games these days, because of all the quotas that the HR ladies put on these studios when they're hiring, but the people making these games are likely majority female by now, and from what I can tell, a lot of them are less governed by a love of games and more governed by activism, pushing progressive political shit, which is what drove them into the industry in the first place. This is why we see headlines like this making the rounds online. Over 95% of players don't consider inclusivity important in gaming. This was written in response to a social media poll that had over 10,000 people voting, and I get that it isn't representative of all gamers because, of course, social media tends to create bubbles and echo chambers, but still, that is a lot of people who don't give a shit about DEI nonsense. I imagine that 95% is not accurate when looking at the entire gaming population, but I'll bet you that it's at least 75%. And I mean, the truth of this has been revealed repeatedly this year. The games that feature this kind of slop, games like Concord and Dustborn, Unknown 9 Awakening, Flintlock The Siege of Dawn, those games have failed absolutely miserably, while gamers have flocked to titles like Stellar Blade, Space Marine 2, and Black Myth Wukong, which were just good, fun games that didn't try to preach anything. They just are what they are, and they don't make any apologies. So, if we want to see more of that sort of game, then I recommend that we as a community keep the pressure up whenever these people, like this artist at Naughty Dog who drew the dog shit Eve art, we have to let them hear our displeasure whenever they screw things up this badly, because clearly these are people that do not enjoy mockery. They wilt under the pressure of public displeasure. Basically, this new and improved art of Eve from the Naughty Dog artist is a sign that they are starting to realize, they in the industry that is to say, are starting to realize that writing off our opinions and calling us racist and sexist, bigoted, etc., that isn't getting the job done. It's no longer making people be quiet. If anything, it amplifies the criticism. So, I am hopeful that we are making gains in our fight against this culture of toxic positivity and bringing about an age of renewal where meritocracy is the ruling force. Who knows? Maybe even Intergalactic, the heretic prophet, might not be doomed. Maybe this principal character designer guy can go ahead and fix the design of the character in that. But I'm going to leave it there. Drop some mockery of toxic positivity and the people at Naughty Dog into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.